when we last left our heroes, you guys were just arriving in Alistair, which, as you recall, hopefully, is a kind of black ore cliffside right over the ocean, with a lot of black and white stone carved buildings. It's very ornate looking. And as you pull into the station right as the sun is beginning to rise, casting a beautiful, lots of oranges throughout the white stone, and it just looks very pretty. And as you arrive and the train begins to come to a stop, you do hear the captain overhead as the intercom goes off. All right, passengers, as we have arrived here in Alistair, you will have until 8 p.m. tonight to explore. Then, at 8 p.m., if you are continuing on with us to Radiance, you will need to be on board. Now you know, and as it begins to rattle off facts about Alistair that no one really wants to know as the intercom gets cut off once more.
Whoever's in charge of that intercom really doesn't like the captain, or the maybe not captain, conductor.
Kitasha, desperate to have a good day despite the evening, has exited Edmund's cabin in her resplendent clothes. The ones that she was going to be saving for Radiance, but instead has chosen to wear them today.
Oh, very nice, very fancy.
Super
All right.
fancy.
I think let's make this. Oh, sorry, go on.
Nope. I was trying to get you guys to start on what you were doing, so go for it.
All right. Well, I'd like this to be a very safe and uneventful trip. It will be nice to relax and see some sights, perhaps see what Alistair's got for us. So, all right, I need you all to stay together. Make sure there's at least two of us in any group. In fact, wait a minute. Edmund, are you going to be joining us?
Oh, to be honest, I'm still quite tired from having to rewrite all of my notes. Honestly, I was kind of thinking of just staying in and maybe resting and maybe doing some light reading. But please, feel free. As far as I can tell, the danger is gone. So I think we should be all good. If I could just keep Hercules here as a precaution.
Yes, I'll look at Hercules and say, all right, your instructions are to stay in this room, and if anyone should attack Edmund, you should attack them. That's the rule.
Borf.
Good stuff. All right. I suppose then just
Hercules
the three of us
will sit and you'll see his little metal tail wag.
Out of an abundance of caution, I feel that I should stay behind. I don't have anything particular in Alistair that I am interested in acquiring or seeing. And I am not comfortable leaving our charge unattended.
That's probably the more sensible thing, to keep one person back at least. All right, well, we'll come back for you if we find a really cool, a weapon store or something.
Sure. If you find a good souvenir, I'll appreciate it. But I'm good.
All right. I guess, Kitasha, we can take to the town and cause very little chaos. Just absolutely the smallest amount.
She'll squint and then say, "Sure, Joe," and do a very exaggerated wink.
I'm just trying to fit in with you. I figured you like causing chaos. I'm just,
I don't enjoy causing chaos. It just happens around me.
Okay.
And twirling Kitasha gowned in more like much more Victorian, in like silvers and blues, will make her way out of the cart.
Oh, excellent. And Joe, you are following?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Mako, you get to just skip out on all the fun I planned. Thanks.
Mako is doing
Yeah,
what
David
Mako
just
does and
over here,
not
I
doing
wanna eat.
anything new.
Excellent. Well, as you walk out, you're greeted by the fact that apparently this town has a mascot animal, as it is on everything. Would anyone like to take a guess at what animal it is?
What kind
Is
of
it a
animal
narwhal?
Oh,
What kind of animal
It is
would
not
you
a
It's
call
a
narwhal.
seaside
out there?
adventure. Why wouldn't it be a narwhal?
You'd think. The random
Um,
generator animal said otherwise. I found it too amusing to choose anything else.
I'm gonna say, because we are on the edge of a desert, I'm gonna go more desert vibes, and I'm gonna say, what's the? It's not an armadillo. It's like a little animal that like he sounds like this, and he like I don't know.
The
He's like
pelican?
a yeah,
Palanquin?
pangolin. Yeah,
Pangolin.
pangolin. Yeah, that's the one. I'm gonna say
Oh, yeah.
pangolin.
It's actually a tapir.
A tapir. That's cute.
They're also from the
His little
rainforest. I'm a
piggy
little
long
confused.
nose. Yeah, sometimes animals just don't have to be. Sometimes you just choose an animal because you like it, and you make it your mascot.
Is this
Okay.
like the? Is it a were tapir or like a like
Yeah, we're
grape
wondering where it is.
a, gi-
Yeah,
a giant
you
tapir?
don't see of any tapirs around, but you just
Hmm.
see images of them everywhere. There are flags with them. There are tapestries with them embroidered in them. Not doing anything fanciful. They're just standing there.
Menacingly.
Just tapirs. And as you walk out onto the steps of the train station, you can see quite a little bustling town. And if you look around, you can see a map with a couple of close by attractions that you can go explore. So to name a few, there are 3 gift shops that are relatively close by. The names are the Glorious Star, the Rainy Market, and the Yawning Duck. As well, there is a local tavern with the name of the Brass Bagpipe. It seems to be boasting that they have a large variety of fresh seafood, along with some locally brewed ales. And lastly, it kind of looks like it's been scribbled in addition with crayon onto this map, is Wizard Jeffrey's World of Wonder and Mystery.
I'm just writing these notes. Well, this seems quite fun. All right. So Kitasha, I think first priorities, we do need to get a gift for our wayward companion. I think
For
if we can
Edmund?
get no for Mako.
Oh. Yeah, that too.
I guess we can get something for Edmund, but he's kind of rich, so I don't know if he needs anything. I guess if we see a cool spanner or a cog or something engineering related, but I might take that myself. So yeah, what do we think is gonna have? There's the Glorious Star, Rainy Market, and Yawning Duck. Which one sounds like it's gonna be more appropriate for Mako?
For Mako.
Hmm. I think Glorious Star feels pretty cool because glory on the battlefield and things like that.
I don't think the store owner thought that far into it. And Kitasha will do a little bit of window shopping. Just kind of do like little
Sure.
peeks to like see what they actually sell.
So from just a glance, it looks like these shops, all 3, seem to have a very similar collection. You can see a lot of hand-carved black ore and what you believe to be is shell or bone jewelry. lots of necklaces with a lot of different sea creatures carved into very small beads, and tapirs. Still more tapirs for some reason. Yeah, necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. You can briefly see what you think to be a couple sets of dice in a glass cabinet. And the Glorious Star does have, if you were to squint your eyes just right, you think it might be a wax seal set. Meanwhile, the one main thing that you're seeing in regards to the rainy market is a lot more book selection. So more of a bookstore, but it does still have these jewelry items. And then as you are going towards the Yawning Duck, you kind of notice it's a bit run down. And as you look through the window, a lot of this stuff looks a lot more cheaply made. You're not sure. None of them are as intricately carved. There's a couple of like shells that are just full shells with carvings on the insides. But it's not as nice looking as the things in the other two shops.
All right, I suppose we could probably start with the first one then. Um, if you're okay with that, go for the Glorious Star and see what we can find.
Sure. Kitasha or Kitasha. Um, well, I enjoy looking at baubles. I don't know if Mako really enjoys those kinds of things.
What about jewelry? Like a cool necklace with a fish on it?
I mean, I still consider that a bauble, but let's see if they have something cool. Maybe they have like throwing daggers or something.
Hmm. We would need to get it gift wrapped though because of the train restrictions.
I don't think we could sneak it on.
Probably not. So we'd probably need to have it packaged and put in the storage area.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's let's
Unfortunately.
let's go inside. I'm gonna look up something for Ruby as well.
Okay. You walk into the Glorious Star, you are met with the heavy scent of incense. You can see a small incense burner in the far corner. Running to David, I've lost my listing of idols.
Hmm.
What?
Which idol are you looking for?
Seaside. There is a couple different oceanic ones.
I never
I believe
established
Kitasha
any.
has a similar one. Kitasha had one. You know what? No, what was our drought god's name? That was the
Nestlete.
product placement. Nestlete. Excellent. It is incense burning to Nestlete in the corner. But it is a pretty nice smell. And as you walk in, you
love
can...
the smell of cephalopods.
Mm-hmm. And as you walk in, you can see a Asimar shopkeeper in the corner with bright gold hair that is braided back. And she turns and she smiles and waves at you, and it's a quick, "Oh, welcome in, please look around." And as you start glancing, you see a lot of the jewelry also does have some gold intermixed with it, and a couple other precious metals and a couple of jewels as well. You are noticing, however, the hefty prices in this shop. This shop, some of these necklaces are ranging the 30 gold
Oof.
area.
Speaking of
Is there
someone with
anything
20...
in particular?
I've got 20 gold to my name right now. All right, I would like to get maybe like a wooden carved tapir or something like that as sort of more of a, not quite, maybe, yeah, or maybe a toy, or at least like a very robust statue thing that I could potentially give as a gift to Ruby.
Mm-hmm. in this shop, you're not really going to find much like that. This is more of a very upper class shop. It seems to mainly focus in the jewelry section.
Okay. I'll probably give this one a miss unless we see anything that's in a price range that Kitasha thinks Mako might like.
Yeah,
If you
Katasha
wanna
will do
give
the quintessential, like, pick something up like, "Oh, this is a nice, like, plaster or glass necklace," and then looks at the price tag and then slowly puts it down and then walks a few steps to something else.
Yeah, each thing you're picking up as you're going through, you're kinda feeling your stomach lurch a little bit as you're going through and going, "Oh, this is like a month's salary."
Oh, I could
And
die with the amount of money that one of these costs.
there is, however, for 15 gold, you do see, there is a wax seal set that you can get, and it's on a special deal right now where if you give the shop owner about 5 hours, she will make a personalized wax seal that you'll be able to use the stamper on of any design you wish.
That's good.
As well. Oh, go ahead.
Well, Joe, do you write very often?
Not hugely. There's not a ton of people that I guess I'd send letters to, at least not since my business has burned down. I wonder, I mean, Homeko is going to potentially become a dignitary or royal or someone important in that way. So maybe she'll be writing letters more. I don't know.
I don't know. Most, at least the diplomats and dignitaries I used to cater to had people write their letters for them.
Hmm. Okay. Well, in that case, the calligraphy training is going to go to waste. Um, yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna head over to the next store. I wonder if we're charging Edmund enough for this.
I think all payment is between Edmund and the guild.
Okay. I wonder if the guild is paying enough for this, considering the danger and the intensity of it. I suppose in the grand scheme of things, though, this excursion is significantly less dangerous than the plague-infested previous one. So, I suppose there's that.
That was fine.
We nearly got killed like 5 times over,
Fine.
except for
When
that
did
one
you
time
nearly-
you.
It's like when did you nearly get killed 5 times?
I felt like I was going to die a lot of it. We had to wear masks constantly so we wouldn't immediately die. I feel like we were pretty close to the edge of death for like the entire time.
Well, yeah, the masks were really close to our faces, and we all felt uncomfortable about that.
Like I'm saying, if we took the mask off, we would immediately die. Probably. I don't know the details.
I will take your word for it. Kitasha will always give like 2 pats on the arm.
We nearly died to a
Itasha
bear.
remembering the fact that it took like
Several
6
days.
days in order for the effects of the plague to even begin manifesting in a person.
There was that giant bear flower monster that would have killed us if you hadn't saved everyone. If you weren't there, we would have probably died.
Um, I'm sure you and Mako could have taken care of it yourselves.
Well, it would just been Mako. I'd have been running away.
But bravely running away.
Yeah, I would have looked okay while doing it. All right, I'm gonna go
Tactical
to the
retreat.
next. What was that, David?
Tactical retreat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is a disengage and a dash. um, so yeah, I'm gonna go to the next store. I'm gonna try the rainy market because this is a little out of my price range.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try and
Kitasha
find.
Yeah, you're
will
able to.
look at the wax stamp set and then follow Joe.
Yeah, you can follow. No one stop you.
Mhm.
And you can enter the rainy market. Once again, it does seem like there is a lot of different black ore and shell bead necklaces and bracelets. You do see in the back, Joe, there are a couple of wooden carved statues from driftwood that you could probably take a look at. And then there is a large supply of books in the back, as well as a small glass cabinet near the clerk that is containing a couple different sets of black ore dice, as well as what looks like maybe some narwhal tusk dice.
Mm.
And the clerk of this shop is a large tiger tabaxi who briefly looks up from his bookkeeping, nods to you, and goes back to looking down at his books as he's writing out some what you figure might be, local taxes.
Hmm.
The time of year.
The spookiest time of year. All right, I'm gonna head over to the animals and see what I can find over there.
Roll me an investigation.
Woo! First roll of the day. Let's get it to be another nat 20. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm rolling physical dice for some reason, but I got a 13. I don't know if you'd rather I just roll in the app again, but yeah.
You are able to find a wooden carved tapir that is 2 silver pieces, as well as you do see a couple of different sea life. You see a octopus, you see a large carp, as well as a tuna.
Okay.
But those might be a little bit harder to bring home than the tapir.
Mhm.
But yeah, they all seem to be around 2 to 3 silver pieces.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely pick up a tape here. And I'll maybe like say to Kitasha, what about any of these? Maybe a Mako with like a wooden fish. I'm starting to think I'm kind of bad at gift giving based on the face you just gave me.
I don't know. Mako is very utilitarian, and Kitasha will start moving towards the books. Um,
Give me you. Oh, go ahead.
Mako may like something, I don't know. And she'll start like skimming the books.
Excellent. Give me either an investigation or perception check, please.
We'll do perception. I'm better at those. Yeah. So good. Oh, wait. I get my extra D4. Hang on. This could be perfect. A 10.
That'll work. Yeah. As you're going through, you do see a little bit older book, War in Many Strategies by Yoko Ono. You see, I see David giggling in the corner. You see a couple of strategy books that are from many different generals throughout the years. A lot of these books seem to be a bit older. And as you're going through, you can see these, and out of the corner of your eye, you see a very old-looking tome with a dark green, like forest green leather binding. It seems very, very old.
Kitasha is still kind of talking to herself. Um, we'll just use one of these because it's a prop. Mako likes books that she might like something that's more into like, I don't know, like history and or um something that's like gonna really speak to her. And as Kitasha has like these armful of books, she'll see the green one and will like walk over to it while I'm assuming holding just books,
Mhm.
and we'll try and like do the pinky like off the shelf. I just want to see what you are.
What languages do you speak?
Let's see here. I speak common and goblin, orc, and primordial.
All right. This is not a language you immediately recognize. It has a lot of swirling details, very intriguing to look at, but as you pull the book a little bit further out, there is an imprinted image embossed in the leather that catches your eye as you stare back at the crystalline flower.
And Kitasha like staring at the book. Joe, can you hold these for a second?
Sure.
Thank you. And as soon as Joe has the books, Kitasha's arms just like grab the book. Um, and she starts furiously like flipping through it.
Yeah, you see a couple of images of what you believe to be different fae creatures, including the Dullahan you had seen, but the language is nonsensical to you. Again, it is a lot of swirling patterns that you're not sure what it is. But as you're looking through, you do find whole pages on the crystalline flowers that if only you knew what language this was, maybe you could decipher what it's saying. And as you're going through, you can see that there seems to be a decent amount of detail on what you believe to be a fae research book.
Hey Joe, what languages do you speak? Do you know?
Besides common, there's dwarvish, gnomish, and primordial.
Okay. Do either of those have a bunch of swirls?
Um,
I mean, not
gnomish,
primordial.
gnomish can be pretty swirly.
Does this make sense? And Kitasha will hold it open with the picture of the Dullahan.
I don't know if this is a check or just a straight up you tell me I don't understand any of this.
Yo, you do not know this language. If either of you wants to give me a some form of knowledge roll to maybe try to decipher just if you can figure out what language this possibly could be.
Maybe history or investigation or something? What else? Perception's probably not it.
Yeah, that's not an
Probably a
intelligence.
history.
History?
Uh,
That's a 26 on the old history.
Yeah. Joe's
Would
got it figured out.
would Arcana work?
Arcana would work if you want to try that. See if you can both figure it out.
11.
You don't immediately clock it, Kitasha, but Joe, upon looking at it, vaguely remembers a client he had at one point who often had notes in this as he sees celestial writing.
Oh. Wonder if Mako speaks that. Maybe.
I
Or
don't
do
know.
we have would anyone on the train speak that? But maybe one of our new friends on the train might be able to translate some of this for us. If we
Speak what?
Oh,
What
Celestial.
language is it? Celestial?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Uh, I don't think Brutus would.
Hmm.
Reginald would probably talk about the book and not actually be able to read it. Um, Vernon, I don't know if Vernon would. He is really
Mm.
old. Maybe old people know Celestial. Maybe that's
Maybe.
just something they know.
Well, I mean, if you looked at me, you might not assume I know Gnomish, but here we are.
That's true. I mean, either way, it has the where is it? Ah, it has a picture of the flower.
We should probably take this just in case. I'd like buy it. I mean, not yeah.
That
As you're holding it out, Kitasha, you do notice on the back that it says 30 gold for the book.
is that like a hard price?
You can try to haggle.
Can Mako have sent them along with some of her money so that they could have gotten her a souvenir? Like Mako has like 10 gold that she doesn't have a good use for. So she would have probably pushed that along to just to add that to the pool.
All right. Well, that
Mako
would
can do that.
that would mean that I've got, including Maker's money, then that would take me up to exactly 30. How much have you got, Kitasha?
Just under 25.
Okay, so we would still have some money left over if we wanted to, each of us put 10, for example, towards this book, but it depends. I
How
don't have
much
a.
are the other books?
Your other books, you're looking at 1 to 2 silver.
Oh,
Per
really
book?
cheap
Okay.
by
Per book.
comparison, yeah.
Yeah, so Kitasha picked up
This is a very old tome
Mhm.
that is a very detailed and very well illustrated.
Okay. Kitasha will make her way to the front with the to the tabaxi.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna look up at you, and are you carrying the tome?
Yeah. Kitasha left Joe with the other like stratagem books.
Okay. He will look at the book, sigh to himself, and he's going to look at you and go, "The price is final, miss. It is 30 gold. I'm not going to haggle with you." You see he's very tired looking.
Have a lot of people tried to haggle for this book?
They come in and they see the price and they think, "Oh, I can pull in one over on old Stymie over there. Oh, yes, if I just, convince him it's not a valuable book, I can get it and resell it. I know the worth of that book, and if I can't read it."
Well, it is a very beautiful book. And I don't want to pull one over on you. We are getting this one, and Kitasha will wave over Joe if he hasn't already like stepped up behind her.
Mhm.
And these as well.
And he'll count them up. He's like, and you have the money. This.
Yes.
He'll look back at you. All right.
Quick question. While Kitasha initially gone up to speak to the guy, Joe would have liked to cast just detect magic, which will just it won't tell me a ton other than a source of magic, potentially what type it is. But I just want to see if the book, or anything else in the store for that matter, but specifically I'm really zoning in on that book and seeing if there is any actual magic to it, or whether it is just purely like a lore textbook.
As you cast detect magic, you can tell the book itself that you're looking at does not have any magic. There are a couple of tomes here and there in the store that have a very light amount of magic, but you don't think it's very much.
Okay.
As we go back to the shopkeeper, he'll look at you and goes, My apologies, miss. Just had a lot of unsavory types the past couple of days that tried to steal from my shop and tried to haggle with me. I appreciate you being straight up with me. I apologize for my tone.
No, that's all right. Misfortune has a way of carrying over to the next day.
Aye.
So
Alright, let's see here. We've got 30. Everything together, it looks like it's coming out to 31 gold.
I guess if we all contribute 10 from our stuff.
Kitasha will do 11 to account for that extra gold.
Perfect.
Nice.
He'll go through, he'll count up the money, and you see him lightly tapping the gold coins on the counter with each one as he's counting it, just to be doubly sure. Pile up. Just a pleasure to do business with you. Please do take good care of that book. It's been around this shop for the past 30 years.
Well, then it has
Yes.
got a wealth of knowledge. Do you have like a way to wrap it to extra for
Yes,
like extra
let
protection?
me get it wrapped up for you.
Maybe like a paper
And
bag
he'll
but without
begin.
handles.
Oh, the worst kind. In a wet seaside village. And
Don't remind me of the Fred Meyer's shopping bags. He'll actually take out a couple of small wooden boxes. It's more like balsa wood, but he'll
he's
gently
gonna
place each
Costco
book.
it.
Yeah. He'll gently place the books inside that, cover it, and then as well we'll do a couple of sturdy wraps around it of actual fabric and tie it off. And it's a very nice wave pattern with, you can see a couple silhouettes of narwhals, and once again, for some reason, tapirs. They're everywhere. They're not an aquatic animal. Why are they here? But you ignore that, as you are gifted this lovely little wrapped box. I wish you luck, and please be careful there. Again, there's been a couple of people coming in and out of town that just seem quite unsavory.
We'll keep an eye out.
Dungeon Master, as a retroactive
Yes.
thing from like 5-10 minutes ago, could I do an insight check on Kitasha to see what Joe makes of one of her comments from earlier?
Wow. Sure.
Okay. I'm hoping I roll low for the silliness of this situation. Okay, I got a 19. So okay, never mind. So basically, what I was wondering, because when Kitasha was saying about Mako would, I know Mako would probably wouldn't be interested in something like like any of the wooden fish or something. I was wondering if Joe would be like, I wonder if that means she would be interested in buying a fish. So Joe was going to do a secret fish present, but I mean, on a 19, you let me know. But I imagine maybe he was like reading that correctly.
I mean, what is the David for the passive?
Passive is 10 plus his stats. So if you want to just go with the passive deception, it would be just 10 plus your deception.
Let's see, it would probably be like closer to persuasion. So yeah, that would be passive would be 16 for
Okay,
Kitashi. So
so
yeah,
I do
it's
fully understand you. Okay,
fully understand that like Kitasha knows people.
sure.
um Whether it's just her or what she's done before and has like trained herself to do, like Kitasha knows people. That's it. That's a big thing that she has going for her. Not much else, just that she knows people.
All right, sounds good. I'll just buy the one tape here for Ruby.
Excellent. I had assumed that you had put that all together, and that is wrapped
Okay,
up
yeah,
in the
that
box.
works.
That
Yeah,
was included in the 31 gold.
Perfect. That simplifies me having to break down the gold into little chunks. That's cool.
Okay.
I don't believe in unrounded numbers, not when it comes to money. All right, would you guys like to continue on to the Yawning Duck, or would you like to take a look at the Brass Bagpipe or Wizard Jeffrey's World of Wonder and Mystery?
So my vote is that we'll stop for a brief lunch, get try some local ales, and just actually enjoy ourselves just for a short while we can relax somewhat off duty, and then maybe we can try out the Wizard's Place on from there, because I am a little curious about a notice written in crayon. I find that's very intriguing.
I think did the shopkeeper actually give us his name? Was it Shogren?
Yeah.
Okay. Someone like Shogren wouldn't give advice needlessly. So I think we should take the book. We should check out the Yawning Duck, see if there's anything that Edmund might like.
Mm.
Because although he has ready access to shiny things, something that's a bit more run down and might need attention might be good for him. Something that he can like clean and improve. I think that might help him out.
Okay.
Have we actually checked the cargo hold to see if everything is still there?
I did, yeah.
Like post
After,
attack? Post attack.
yeah. Well, not post attack, but post realizing that the locks were all busted, or before. I don't know. At one point, it hasn't been immediate.
Okay. Seeing if there's something he can fiddle with, and then taking all of our treasures back to the train.
Mhm.
Because Edmund
That
might know
works.
Celestial, and maybe he could look at the book if he has time.
He could potentially provide a translation which I could study, or even if he's just able to translate some of the ciphers, and then I can kind of use that to decode the book a little, just something like that.
Yeah. But after that, I agree. We should have fun.
All right, sounds like a plan. Let's quickly check out this the Yawning Duck just to make sure nothing's untoward, and then we can move on from there.
As you walk into the Yawning Duck, you're greeted with a smell of metal and rust as you're looking around at a lot of wooden carved statues. You're seeing a lot of kind of funny looking proportions and faces, but you do see quite a few music boxes that definitely look like they need some cleaning and fixing up, as well as a few like little like hold on, I can remember this word.
Calliope.
No,
I
it's
thought it
not a
was pronounced
calliope.
Calliope.
Um, little like tinker toys, little small mechanic toys. But all of them look like they're a bit junky.
Mhm.
And there is a big sign over over everything that is bargain prices, 2 copper or less.
Oh wow. I guess we
And
could
there's a
try and
little old human woman at the counter who's just barely tall enough that her eyes are peeking over the top, and she's looking around at you through her large glasses. And
um
she waves a little thin, bony hand at you. and goes back to searching through her stuff at the counter.
Well, this is definitely more of your expertise, Joe.
We could get, perhaps, like you say, some sort of broken wind-up toy would be actually the perfect kind of thing for him just to work on something and just try and fix something and get his mind in a good spot. Maybe, yeah, just one of those like clockwork toys that you can like turn something at the back and then like it just walks across the desk or something. Like if there's one that could use a bit of work, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, you can see there's a couple little humanoids. There's a couple like horses and cows and tapirs. More tapirs. Why are there tapirs?
Maybe a
We'll
wind-up
never
tapir,
know.
because then it's like a souvenir and it's something he can work on and improve or something. I mean, because can you say you've been to Alistair if you haven't bought a tapir? You know what I mean?
I mean, when in Alistair, do as the Alistarians do.
That's right.
Buy a tapir.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose, you can buy the little wind-up toy there. Otherwise, there are a couple of... They do look like, if you were to scrape the rust off, quite intricate music boxes. You're not sure what they would play. If you go up to try and wind them, they just kind of go... "Arr."
Oh, I love this one. All right, yeah. Well, I'll try and find an appropriately broken but not, like unfixable. You know, like something that's like reasonably,
Give
fixable that I can.
me an investigation check.
All right, all right. For this, yeah, this will be for Edmund. That is a 16.
You find a suitably broken, but not too broken or rusty, wind-up tapir.
Perfect. He's going to love it or have certain thoughts about it or something.
I'm sure he'll have both.
Fantastic. All right, well, I'll go for this. Were you wanting anything in here for yourself or for Mako, perhaps?
I don't know.
You're beginning to feel unnerved by the bass staring at you in the corner, wooden-faced, mouth just staring, bent at an angle a fish should not be able to bend its head.
You should press the button underneath it.
Is there a button underneath it?
There's not. It's wooden.
Oh, I was hoping it would be one of the singing.
It is on a plaque,
salmon
though.
Well, what does the plaque say about it?
Screaming bass. That's it. You wonder if maybe this was carved after someone seeing one of those so fancy new singing bass that you've seen in a couple of seaside towns over the time.
Tasha will like look at it, do like a no, and we'll walk away.
Screaming bass sounds like a genre of music.
No,
Maybe
it's definitely like a post-punk band
yeah.
from the Midwest,
That's
a landlocked area.
It's one of the bands that one of our characters from New Radiance would listen to.
There you go, Dad. Make it so. Screaming bass, all the rage now.
All right.
Oh, screaming bass! We have all that time in Onstad.
Yeah, if you're just gonna buy the wind-up toy, you can walk to the counter. The old lady will reach you and say, you want the wind-up tapir. Good choice. Good choice. That'd be 2 copper. Yes. No returns.
She said that quickly. Yeah, I'll pass over to Copper.
Very good, very good. She bites one. Yes. She pockets it. All right, that's all I need from you. Now you have a good day, young man, and you take that pretty lady out with you and go buy her something nice.
Sure.
Kitasha just like smiles and raises an eyebrow.
All right. All right. Are we ready to head back to the train just to drop these things off?
Yeah, I think so. It's
Okay.
Edmund's due for a break anyhow.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
All right, it's probably been in time that you spent in the shops. You're quite surprised to see it's been probably 2 hours since you arrived, maybe 3. But you've still got plenty of day left as you start making your way back towards the train. Now, Mako, what have you been doing in the past 3 hours?
Babysitting? I don't know.
Edmund has really been resting, leisurely laying on his bed in his new luxury room.
His new executive suite.
Exactly. With some light reading, which as you look at it, you're just going, isn't that a technical manual?
I thought for a hot minute you're gonna say, "Isn't that smut?"
Give me
He is
give me
into
a
the
perception
YA,
check.
YNs.
Give me a perception check, Mako.
What kind of technical manual is it, Mako?
12.
You can realize as you're looking, the dust sleeve has been replaced on this one.
All right, that's his business. I'm not about to let him know I know that.
I'm a babysitter.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing too exciting happens. You don't notice anyone moving about suspiciously. You do see the staff every once in a while as you look out, just getting stuff ready. You can see they're getting some more food supplies. You see a lot more fresh seafood is being supplied for half of the trip. Which don't know how Mako feel about that, but there it is. But yeah, you can just very quiet. You can gaze out of the town, and you briefly can make out the silhouettes of Kitasha and Joe going from shop to shop out there. And you do notice that first shop, every once in a while you look out, you see them walk out with nothing. And then you see them walk out of the second store, and they've got a huge box that's wrapped in fabric. You don't know what to think about that. You
Alright.
also don't know what to think about the tapirs you keep seeing everywhere through the window. And Mako thinks to herself, why tapirs? But decides to leave that thought for another day.
Mako thinks, what are tapirs?
Yeah, I don't
What
think
is this
Mako's ever
strange
encountered
beast?
a tapir.
Mm-mm.
And fair, this weird mini, like,
Pig elephant.
little pig elephant that you're not even sure how big it be. Maybe it is some form of elephant that you've just not encountered before. Very intriguing, whatever this mythical creature could be. Maybe it's not, maybe it's mythical.
Maybe this isn't a real animal, and maybe it's a guardian spirit or something
Maybe
like that.
it's Kalanine.
Maybe it's this town's guardian spirit.
As you begin pondering if Apier is truly a cryptid that no one really knows, you are greeted by Tasha and Joe as they return from their little shopping spree.
Hello. We got
Hi.
we got some things.
All right.
We
Do
bring
you
gifts and a mystery.
you don't happen to speak Celestial, do you?
No, the only uh exotic language I speak is Thrycreen.
Okay. Well, that's
Isn't
useful
that
for
kind of
day to
close?
day.
Don't both have wings?
No,
Um, all right, so I've got bad news and then I've got slightly worse news. The bad news is we spent all your money, and the slightly worse news is we spent it on something we can't read. But uh, if
hey,
if we were to find somebody who could help us read this book has a lot of interesting information. I'll flick to some of the pages just so Maker can get an idea.
Mako is very interested in what this book has to offer.
Mhm. We also got
Yeah,
you these other books
you're
that we think you can read, and Kitasha will pull out all the like stratagem books by several different generals and history of war and stuff like that.
That is remarkably thoughtful and sweet. Thank you.
It
Nice.
is, isn't it? And Kitasha will look over Mako's head at Joe like, see?
and you wanted to buy her a
Um,
fish.
and you wanted to buy her a fish. A little wooden inarticulate fish. And then Kitasha will look over. Has Edmund started? Is Edmund still reading? Has he come to look over what we brought, or?
He has put his book down and carefully slid it into a drawer. And come over and is intrigued by what you brought. He looks at the green tome. He's like, I wish I could help with it. I haven't studied Celestial, but if I remember from when I was doing my initial assessment of your guild, I think you're your cleric guild master. I'm sorry, I can't think of her name. The owl lady. I believe she has quite a substantial amount of books. She might know language. Might be someone to
Well,
check at least. Wish I could help more.
that's all right. We can at least save it for then. A little special surprise. But we did get something for you, Edmund.
Oh, you really
And
didn't have to.
Kitasha will gesture to Joe, who I think is still holding the wind up tapir.
Yeah, I'll pass it over and say, we thought you could use a small, maybe a pet project, no pun intended, to something to work on while you're uh here on this. I know you're busy with preparing for your exhibition and restoring all your notes, but perhaps if you just needed to fidget or to tinker even just a little bit, this might be a fun project to try and restore this to its former glory. Plus, it's a cool souvenir to prove you've been to Alistair.
That's what a fun little project. This will take me like an hour or so to do. That's really cool. Quite nice. Quite nice. Thank you so much for thinking of me. It's
Paint
really,
by
really
numbers you shouldn't have.
sweet.
Yes. Connect the dots,
You
and it's
notice
just a circle.
you notice that Edmund is not being sarcastic. He seems genuinely touched by the fact that you went through and bought him a little thing. And he's
Edmund will
smiling
remember this for
gently
the
at it.
future.
True.
New
Um,
loyalty quest unlocked.
yeah, new tier. Well, we wanted to drop these off because the bookseller also mentioned that there were some unsavory types recently coming
Oh,
into the city, and we didn't want all of our treasures to go uh, away.
yes, definitely. Yeah, if you want to leave him in here. I don't know if we'll have access to the storeroom anytime soon. But yeah, if you want to leave him in here or anything, that would be quite all right.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We were also going to go and get a bite to eat. Could we possibly drag you away from your notes long enough to get food outside of the train?
Well, sure. I could at least stop for a bite to eat of local cuisine.
Mhm. It will
And
be very
he'll begin.
humble. It will be humble. I do want to stress that. It doesn't appear that there
Oh,
is much Michelin restaurants here.
Oh, that's quite all right. I find it quite exciting to try something that's not been reviewed to death.
We might even meet some of those
No
unsavory
mystery.
characters.
Oh, I'm
Mako,
quite dead, actually.
Mako, can we persuade you to join us in our charge?
Of course. I, I'm I'm on guard duty. I'm gonna follow Edmund.
All right, to the brass bagpipe we go.
As you're walking through the city, you're once again struck by why taters? Why are they everywhere? There's glass window panes with little stained glass taters in the center. Every other store seems to have a tater sign. But enough of that. You walk up to a shop that has a big old brass bagpipe as its logo, as it's swinging in the breeze on a wooden sign, and as you open the door, you
tapir's not
hear
playing
the
it?
loud. You wish. You think for a moment, maybe, just maybe, especially Mako, who's still convinced this is some form of cryptid. But no, instead you see a hearty dwarven man bellowing away on the bagpipes in a stage off in the side, and for Mako, it puts her a little on edge because it feels like battle music. She's not sure why. She doesn't know of any time that bagpipes have been played whenever she's gone into, undercover missions, but, well, maybe it's just her. And you are quickly told to go ahead and grab your own table wherever you want. As the barmaid comes around and just quickly shouts out at you. She is another dwarven woman with long, I was about to say her hair, and I realized I've already got that one somewhere else. She's gonna have long braided black hair and bright green emerald eyes.
Can we?
And you can pick any table you'd like.
Thank you. I guess once we're seated, maybe I don't know how it works here, but I guess does everyone in the group want to try the local ale, or stay fully clear-headed?
Well, ale would probably be the lightest alcohol I've had this entire trip. Kitasha thinks. um,
Edmund's looking over the listing, just wide-eyed, and
there's so many options, but they're all the same.
look at this. I think this one's infused with some kind of berry. Good berry ale.
Oh, that's cool. In that case, let's get 4 of those, and then just maybe some seafood lunches, well, depending on what they've got available.
They've got some chowders. They got a couple of fried fish cutlets served with sliced potatoes fried alongside the fish cutlets in a nice fatty oil.
I hope they're julienne. I can't stand it when
Oh,
potatoes
yes.
are not julienne.
This is
Quite.
this is what This is what happens when your DM really, really enjoys cooking. You get like a really, really detailed food descriptions. It's great.
Is
Welcome to the
Studio
entirety
GP
of
up in here.
yesterday.
All right.
Yes, you have plenty of options, and the barmaid will come by and take your order, whatever people are wanting.
I personally have no more money.
I think
Poor
Kitasha's
Mako.
the only one left with money, but as you think about it, Edmund will pipe in and go, "Oh, this is on me. Don't worry about price. Get what you want. I'll cover it."
Joe thinks of
Right.
politely protesting, but realizes just how rich this guy is, and was like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Mako will take an order of chips.
Yeah, the barmaid will write down. Edmund is going to order some of the fish cutlets.
I will copy Edmund. No, but he was actually copying me because I thought of it first.
Kitasha will
And here we have
order.
Joe fighting.
Kitasha will order some sort of like lobster chowder, because at this point in time, lobster is the poor man's food.
True.
If this is historically accurate D&D, lobster is poor man's food.
History in my D&D game?
I know. What? Historical context.
More likely than you think. Yeah, she'll take your orders, and Edmund will also mention 4 mugs of the Goodberry Ale. And the barmaid will wander off to go get you your food.
Nice.
You'll free to chat.
So not to plan too far ahead. This is mostly just directed at the party. But after we get back from this mission, did either of you had a strong idea of what you'd want to do next? So we had escorting the priestess mission down to the grove, and then there was the other one with the the potions dealer getting to the island in the south. I don't know if either of you had any ideas of what you think would be good to take on, but I figured since we've got some downtime, it might be good to consider what we might want to start focusing on.
My personal leaning would be towards the escorting the priestess. I fear that one's been on the board for a while, and I don't want the guild losing a customer because it's just been sitting there.
That's a good point. I hope, I mean, unless I guess when we get back, someone else has already taken the mission, but assuming that they are still there when we get back, then perhaps, yeah, maybe we could work on that then. Random DM question. I've got on my notes relating to this mission, I've got the phrase sun forged steel. Is that just something that Radiance like sells? Like I was trying to remember where that came from.
That's the actual invention.
Kind
Uh,
of.
Yeah, it's
using
D&D solar panels. Sorry, I will back out.
no
you
worries.
are the expert.
So it was an old technique that has technically been lost to time. There's a couple things, but using some of the details Edmund has been able to find of how they made Sunforged Seal, he's used that in order to make the solar panels.
Okay.
Sunforged Steel was a very strong steel that was forged here in the Brightlands. However, the forgery area has since been destroyed, as well as almost all documentation on how the process was even done.
Thanks, Jalen.
Yeah, thanks, Jalen. And Hella.
Oops. All right. Okay, that's good. Or at least we got a possible plan. Yeah, I'm hoping this, at least the last bit of this, not to jinx it or anything, but I'm hoping this last bit will go rather smoothly and we can without any further people attacking or being difficult. I'm getting a disturbance in the force sort of sense, but I'm not sure why.
Whatever could be wrong. The mermaid comes by and delivers your guys' food with a smile and takes the money from Edmund and continues on her way. The bagpipe music continues in the background as more loud chattering from the tables around continues. The food is delicious.
Mhm. Is there anyone that we as a group recognize? Like,
Give
has
me a
anyone
perception
else
check.
from the train disembarked? Perception. Plus. Okay, so 17 total.
Yeah, you do see in the tavern here, on the far side, you see a flame for a fan gather around a booth, and they seem to be enjoying a nice fish dinner, or lunch at this point. And they seem to be the father loudly and joyously talking while his wife and children nod along quietly and put thoughts in. Looking a little bit further in, you do see Brutus in the kind of upwards the bar area, not really eating, but is enjoying an ale, and once again has his hefty notebook that he is frantically scribbling into. But of everyone else on the train, that's about it that you're seeing. Otherwise, the bar is filled with what you assume to be locals.
Right. Kitasha will
Ah.
nod over to the flamefers. It is good that they're all having a little bit of peace.
Yes. With the health problems that they've been having, it's quite nice for them to find some nice time. Here's hoping that the weather in Radiance will be good for their.
Yes. Let's also hope there are no music stores for young Francine to find a Galarin.
Yes.
And Kitasha will raise her glass to clink with Edmund with their cute little inside
yeah.
joke that no one else knows.
He will clink glasses with you and take a swig, and you do see him kind of like cough a little bit into his ale and then take another swig. Clearly unused to alcohol.
Oh, that's right. He's a child.
Oops.
Oops. He's 4.
No, what's that to do
What am I
with him?
supposed to do with him?
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll say to the other two that weren't present before, Katasha and I were thinking of going to there's this Wizard Jeffrey's World of Wonder and Mystery, which seems like a very official and legitimate business. We were thinking of going to that one after this, just before we get back on the train. So you'd be welcome to join that, but if you'd rather avoid whatever that is, whatever it ends up being, then by all means we can part ways again and split up back into 2 and 2.
I think Wizard
Edmund.
Jeffrey wields a crayon.
Edmund finishing his good burial, put it down and kind of blink a little bit and go, "No, sounds that sounds like fun. We should do that."
All right, let's do it.
Kitasha will try and catch Mako's eye like, oh god, what did we do?
This is fine.
The burning building. This is fine. All right. I guess let's I'm curious to see what it has in store. Was like you said it was on a map, right? So we do have directions to where the yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, as you begin approaching, you see a building. It's really more of a shack. Well, it's large, but you feel like the shack has just been built in front of maybe what was once an industrial building, and it's kind of connected. And there's a wonky little sign up above that hastily written quite poorly in paint is Wizard Jeffrey's World of Wonder and Mystery. And it has a big old open sign, and there is a little cartoony smiling wizard, humanoid with a very fake, white long goatee, and he's giving up a big old thumbs up.
I like this guy's vibe.
Would you like to go inside?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Yeah, as you go in, you meet Jeffrey immediately, who is at a counter in the front. There are 4 rooms behind him, each labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. And he'll look up and green light. Oh, customers, yes, excellent. Welcome into Wizard Jeffrey's World of Wonder and Mystery. And he is dressed just like the wizard cartoon on the front of the building. Pointy purple hat with yellow stars, a big purple cloak over him. A very clearly fake gray goatee, and some brown hair sticking out from the back of the wizard hat. This young human male introduces himself as Jeffrey and begins to explain the building you're in. See, parties of 2 to 8 people may come in and choose a room that they would like to find out the mysteries of. And see if they escape. Welcome, you found the first ever escape room.
Yeah. This seems okay, Jeffrey, if I may. We are meant to board a train in perhaps 2 hours, I guess.
Oh,
So
you've got like 6.
still okay. We still got time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we just had lunch. We need to be on the train at 8, so.
Okay, all right, we should be fine. Okay, I'll just say to him. Okay, I guess this in some ways raises the stakes for this slightly more. That if we do get stuck in here for more than 6 hours, we could potentially lose our spot on the train. But
Oh, don't worry. I will make sure that if need be, I can set up a message bell to you guys to let you know what time it is, and if you need to back up rooms, don't worry about it.
sounds good to me.
Yeah, he's got options of a jail cell, a mad alchemist lab, a cleric monastery, and a pirate brigade ship.
Oh, so
So
Joe
standard.
Joe's wants to do the lab, but Elliot wants to do the pirate ship. So I am torn. I'm open to suggestions from the party.
I imagine Kitasha has been like supporting Edmund because I think the ale
A
has
little
hit
bit.
them
He's
a
kind
little
of
hard.
giggly. He's a bit giggly at this point.
Now, Edmund, do you have a preference on which room you would like to go into?
I don't know. They all sound like so much fun. How about we do them all? That would be fun. And he's like, he's just having the time of his life right now. just looking at all the things. He's like, look at the silly little mechanics. And do you see the mechanics above the door? I think it's like a couple of cogwheels fanning the thing. Do you think it'd fall apart if I just poked it? I think it might.
Probably. Um,
Oh, and the rooms are 1 silver piece for each participating member. And then you get
I'll
to
cover
choose
this
which
one.
room you would like to go in. Joe, I'll cover them. Joe has no money.
Actually, I've still got 9 gold left.
Oh,
wow, Joe can
I
live
stand
modestly for
corrected.
9 years.
9 days. um.
In this economy.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna. Does anyone have any strong opinions about which type of room we're going in there?
Kitasha is very much against the jail room.
All
But
right.
everything else seems fine.
What about you, Mako? Besides the jail room, is there any you either do or don't want to go in?
Nah, I don't know. I've dealt with the real life almost all of these, so like
All right.
I'm
Well,
not particularly bothered.
in that case, Joe, while wanting to do the lab, is for some reason being overridden. So let's do the pirate one.
All
The
right,
gods
as
of this
you walk
world want
through,
ships.
the door labeled number 4, you are greeted by a room. It's been plastered over with wood panels to make it look like the interior of a ship. There's a singular wooden pole in the center, a couple of crates, and a closed mechanical door in the far corner that has a big escape written on it. There are some papers scattered about, and you're just kind of looking at it. And Mako especially is kind of blinking and realizing all you need to do. She's already clocked it that there's a button in this little mast in front of them that will open the door. Just with her passive perception. But does Mako tell this to the rest of the party?
I think I think Mako understands this is meant to be like a fun game thing, and so is going to hold off unless they're struggling.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and just... I would like survival checks from the party to make it
Okay.
through this very intense escape room.
Survival. 17 from Joe.
That seems rude. Let's see.
I know exactly why Kitasha rolled so low. Kitasha is currently very upset with this escape room because it looks nothing like the interior of a ship. The wood is all wrong. It's got the wrong kind of coatings on it. This would never survive at sea.
Total of 9. Survival, I also get to add my D4.
Excellent. That's
Still
over the
mad.
survival check in order to figure out how to escape the room. You all are able to very, very easily get through this kind of dingy escape room. And as you walk out the other side, Jeffrey is there with a little, like, bit of confetti that he throws in the air. Congratulations for making it through! What, did you enjoy it?
Yes.
I'm quite glad. It's a very new. I was so excited to finally get some customers. I, just got it up on the map, so please tell all your friends and send them my way so that they too can enjoy the wonders of Jeffrey's mysterious world.
Sure. Yeah, we can definitely pass on the news to anyone who asks.
As you walk out, you kind of are struck with, well, that felt like a bit of a waste of time. Still don't know why there's tapirs. Huh. Alright.
You know what? There are sports teams in the real world that just have an animal associated with them that's for seemingly no reason. So it doesn't even alliterate or rhyme or anything like that. So, maybe it's one of those situations.
I would like the party to give me another perception check.
Oh.
Are we being followed?
14 for Joe.
16 for Mako.
17 for Kitasha.
And as you gaze out over the landscape, you are greeted by a very odd moment. As you gaze at the hills and see in the distance a lone tapir munching on grass.
All of us see this?
Yes.
Wait, those things are real?
I've heard about these things. Sometimes a traumatic event will spark a group hallucination.
Well, I guess there's no way of knowing.
I didn't even know tapirs liked eating grass. Thought they ate, like, water vegetation.
I'm still on this. Like, are the tapirs are real? I thought they were like a cryptid of some kind. Like, why does that particular arrangement of parts make a real animal?
What do you hear about platypuses?
What the platypus?
You don't want to know.
With this arrangement, and as Kitasha begins to realize that Edmund is slowly beginning to fall asleep upon her shoulder, what would the party like to do? You have now explored the entirety of the tourist trap known as the center of Alistair.
I think we could probably head back to the train then, make sure we absolutely don't miss it, even if it means we end up sitting on the train for a while. But I think that's probably wise not to take any risks.
No, that's all right. I think at this point, now that young Master Edmund has the room, a room that befits his position, we can figure out how to divvy up or what to do with the other room.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably a good point. I suppose the one other thing we could do while we're out here in the open and not causing a ruckus on the train would be Mako, we talked possibly about you showing me a bit more hand-to-hand combat and training me a little bit on how to punch better. So, we could try that outside if you wanted.
You want to do that in a city?
Well, like next to the train, but just like, like sparring, like, yeah, I think that would be fine, right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, yes, you could, but that's also that also could keep you from getting onto the train if they see you two fighting.
You
guess that's
might.
fair. I don't know. Do you want to just use the use the spare cabin and to fight?
Sure, let's try it.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And as the party makes the plans to divvy up the room as need be, they can return back to the train.
Kitasha will look for specifically the like do not disturb signs. Like if there's any that go over the handle, and she will keep
Mm-hmm.
a hold of it until Miko and Joe enter their room by themselves.
Puts a nice do not disturb on.
Yeah. And if there are no do not disturb, she'll grab like a scrunchie or a sock and put it over the doorknob.
I was gonna say, you gotta get the sock.
Hmm.
That'll work. And as the day begins to fade, we'll see as the train begins to light back up and everyone begins boarding once more to leave Alistair. And as the sun begins setting, your train begins to depart. And as you begin to make your final towards Radiance, I would like to ask for the next 2 days of your 4-day journey, what would you guys like to do? What have you been doing in those 2 days?
Me and Joe are fighting.
Making strange noises in the empty cabin.
I
I'm
think
hurting mysterious bruises.
it's just all on Joe, just real bad. Yeah, I imagine besides combat training, I'm like there would be amount of time trying to decode the book, even if I don't, understand the language, trying to identify, trying to get an idea of what's being said, maybe asking around the train to see if anyone does happen to speak Celestial, and if so, working with them, maybe, if they're willing to give up some of their time on this challenge to sort of decode some of this, or basically like a very intense beginner's crash course on Celestial, if that's a possibility. Yeah, that's the main thing, I think.
Okay. You do have a moment of meeting with Vernon, who takes great interest in the book. Skims over it for a little bit, but sadly is unable to help you.
Okay.
Though he says that he will let you know if there's anything else that he can think of to help out with it.
Okay.
He's very intrigued by the book. But
I'm surprised he doesn't know comprehend languages. Putting that out
who
there.
knows? Fine. Don't worry about it.
Hmm.
I
Um,
was surprised to learn that the comprehend language is not an artificer spell. So like,
Yeah, yeah.
not an option.
Kitasha, what are you doing while there's strange noises happening in the cabin next door?
I think Kitasha will spend more time with Edmund,
Mm-hmm.
uh, helping him with his notes in the same way she did last time by asking really mundane questions about technical things and forcing him to explain it to her like you would a 6-year-old.
Very nice.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Other than that, she will be making her rounds, and speaking. She will describe the book to Reginald.
Mhm.
Um, in hopes of potentially securing something really cool from him from Radiance.
Okay. He, when you mention the book, kind of goes off on a tangent about there once was a Templar scholar years and years back who got lost in the Fae and was said to have finally returned from the Fae with a notepad of all of his findings that he then transcribed into a book. But the language that he used in it, many couldn't comprehend and realized it was celestial as well as the language of the Fae. And really, it was quite incomprehensible. So he's personally not read it, but he finds it fascinating that you're asking about it, and quite, intriguing. Quite a knowledgeable girl. But as you go through this, Brutus will approach you a couple times throughout the 2 days to...
Is he still on
Huh?
the train? Is he still on the train?
Is he getting off an
Lore-wise?
Alistair? Maybe he...
Did he get money?
I think he was going
Did
all
he
the way to
stow
Radiance.
away?
I don't remember because remember I lost my notes. But he may or may not be there. He might have been a figment of your imagination. Some days you're struggling to remember.
Mhm.
That tape here. What was that? All right. And Mako, is there
84
anything
years ago.
other than sparring? Is there anything else Mako is doing in those 2 days?
The only other thing I can think of is like, should we make copies of the book? Like, I'm concerned that having a single copy of it would be unwise. I don't know.
That's not a bad.
Okay, so you're wanting to try and transcribe it.
Yeah, even if I can't speak the language, like I figure we can try and like transcribe copies of it, or at least like and I don't know, and then we can have redundancy. Also, I imagine maybe once we get to Radiance, we can find, I don't know, I don't know, maybe I don't know if Radiance at this point has like a bookstore. We could potentially find like a Celestial Common Dictionary. Just do
Little
a
pocket-
manual translation.
Yeah, a little pocket grammar book or something.
Everything
You can
your teacher never taught you in Celestial.
You can certainly try. Yeah. Definitely you can begin transcribing the book. Are you focusing on any specific sections of it, or are you just trying to transcribe from beginning to end?
I think just beginning to end. If there's not if it's slow going and like I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to do enough before we reach Radiance, then I'm gonna focus on the sections that contain diagrams.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, you can definitely work on those. And as we're drawing to a close tonight, on the 3rd day of your journey,
Wow.
as you are all... Oh,
Alright,
You good,
little bit
David?
broke.
phew! Okay.
Yay!
We're good. With that in mind, then, with this nice little area, it's all good because we're right at the end of the session, anyways. Yeah, you are all gathered for lunch on the 3rd day. And as you're all conversing, having a nice time, eating some nice, salmon that was freshly caught in Alistair, you are all startled by the sound of a very loud gunshot.
Oh.
And stack over the intercom. Before you feel the train rapidly begin to decelerate, and a voice comes in. Well, howdy, family. This is your new Captain Gordon Gooden speaking. We will be coming through the cabins gathering up whatever we see fit, and we will have no problems, right? Any resistance will be properly dealt with. As the intercom cuts dead, and another gunshot is heard.
Oh no.
And that's where we'll end the session!
Oh no.